Seeing anything abnormal on your roof can cause anxiety, but if you see your roof starting to blister, you may wonder what's causing that, and if you should worry. I'm Thomas Williams with Colony Roofers, and today we're going to talk about shingle blistering and everything you need to know about that. Roof blistering is a common problem that is seen in asphalt shingles. When gas, air, or moisture becomes trapped in the shingle, it can create a bubble in the asphalt. If the bubbles split, the granules of the shingles become loose and fall off. If blisters are going to be a problem with your asphalt shingles, you will usually see them within the first year after the shingles are installed. Roof blistering is relatively easy to spot once it starts to occur. Blisters on asphalt shingles look like pockmarks that have popped. They will have noticeable granule loss, sometimes severe enough that you can see the mat or the backing of the shingle. It can sometimes be difficult to distinguish between hail damage and shingle blistering, but we'll talk more about how to differentiate between the two later on. There are two main causes of shingle blistering. It's poor ventilation and poor manufacturing. Poor manufacturing is not as common of a cause of shingle blistering as it was in the past. Workers used to manually add shingle ingredients, leaving room for human error that could lead to blisters. Some of these mistakes included moisture gases, incomplete fiberglass mat curing, or poor asphalt mixes moving to the shingle surface. Any of these things will cause a blister on the shingle surface, which will eventually pop, leaving behind a pop mark on the shingle. Recently, shingle manufacturing has been mostly automated, so there is not nearly as much room for error. The more likely cause if you find yourself with shingle blistering is poor ventilation. So, how does poor ventilation cause shingle blistering? Your attic needs to allow heat to properly escape, and if it's not ventilated properly, it will trap heat. Your shingles absorb heat from the sun, and if your attic is overheated and cannot allow heat to properly vent, the heat being absorbed by your shingles has nowhere to go. Your shingles will eventually reach a temperature that causes the asphalt to release a small amount of gas, which will cause a blister as it becomes trapped within the shingle. A lot of issues you might see with your roof require immediate attention, but is blistering one of them? When you first start to see blistering on your shingles, it's mostly just a cosmetic issue. Even still, it's a good idea to have a roofing contractor come out and assess the severity of the problem, especially if you have significant granule loss due to that blistering. If blistering is only present on a few shingles, it's unlikely that it will lead to leaks. However, if blistering is affecting a large area of your roof, it can lead to premature deterioration and leaks once the material becomes weakened from the lack of granules. This is because the granules are what make your shingles weatherproof, and once a blister on a shingle pops, it takes the granules with it. This leaves your shingle exposed to moisture and UV rays, both of which can lead to issues long term. What kind of impact does blistering have on the lifespan of an asphalt shingle roof? Typically, blisters will shorten a roof's expected lifespan and mean that you need to replace your roof sooner rather than later. This is due to the fact that blisters are stretching and damaging your roofing material and leading to the loss of protective components of your shingles. The loss of granules on your shingles can accelerate UV damage, which is a huge factor in the lifespan of a roof. It's also worth noting that in some cases, blisters can be present for the lifespan of a roof and never cause so much as a leak. Because of this, roofing manufacturers typically won't pay to repair blistered shingles unless there is an active leak caused by it. Even still, it's prudent to have a trusted roofing contractor come and assess the severity of the blistering and let you know whether or not it will lead to problems down the line. Knowing the risks of blistering, you may be wondering if there is anything you can do to try and prevent the issue from occurring. There are two main ways to prevent your roof from blistering. The first is making sure you invest in high-quality shingles. High-quality asphalt shingles are made with better materials and are far more durable than their cheaper counterparts, meaning that they are much less likely to suffer from blistering. The second thing you can do to prevent shingle blistering is have the ventilation in your attic checked. It's important to make sure your attic is properly ventilated and the heat is able to escape so your roofing material does not get too hot. If your attic is not properly ventilated, Even the highest quality shingles can suffer from blistering. It's easy to confuse blisters and hail damage, as they tend to look similar in appearance. There are a few key differences that will help you tell whether you are looking at hail damage or shingle blistering. If there are visible, unpopped blisters, blisters are obviously the cause of damage. However, if there are no visible unpopped blisters, there are still ways to differentiate between the two. Hail damage will typically only be present on one slope of your roof, while shingle blistering will affect the entire roof, particularly if it's an issue with your attic ventilation. The last way to tell if it's hail or blistering is that hail damage will usually leave some granules in the depressions, while blistering will remove the granules completely. Of course, the best way to tell the difference is to call a licensed roofing contractor and have them come out to do an inspection. If you think you may have blistering on your asphalt shingle roof, give Colony Roofers a call today. We have a knowledgeable staff ready to come out and inspect your property so we can help you decide what's best for you. Thanks for watching.